someone in the comments on this channel, which I appreciate, and I do watch your guys' comments, asked me to do this video. Somebody asked, tell me what's going on with the call funnel world. And I smiled when I saw that because that inkling is absolutely right. It's definitely changed. What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to share with you guys one of my biggest tricks that we're using right now to book more calls with our sales funnels. And it's been kind of a unique situation to be in. So there's been a big shift in the book a call strategy and industry scenarios. Let's dive in. The way that we used to book calls using the internet is different than now. And I don't know why this shift has happened in the past little bit. All we know is that it has. And so we've been changing with it. All right. So in the past, a funnel strategy for getting more phone calls was basically something like this. It'd be basically 4 pages. And the first page, number 1, was like a headline and an image and a button. And it was like, put your information in right here and I'll teach you this cool strategy of how to, whatever. And then on the next page, they put their information in. On the second page, we would go in and we would say like a 15-minute video sales letter. And that 15-minute video sales letter was awesome, but it was also 15 minutes. At a certain time, usually 5 to 7 minutes in, I'd have a little button that would pop up under the VSL and it would say something like, hey, book a call, book your growth strategy call, jump on the phone with us, click here to get on the phone with us and let's implement this strategy of what we've been talking about in this video. And that's basically it. They click a button and they'd go to page 3. Page number 3 was literally nothing except a calendar that was embedded into the page. So there's almost nothing on the page. It was literally just, we take the calendar for our setter and it goes straight into our page and that was it. So you go to the next page, it's like book your call and it's a calendar. So you click on there and you're choosing basically like a 15-minute block. And then page number 4 would be like, we're excited to see you. If you want to skip the line or you want to call us early, here's our phone number. And that's kind of it. And it's kind of an older model. One of the biggest shifts that's been happening on the internet, it's so funny. Some people be like, funnels don't work anymore. I'm like, if you're still selling anything at all, yeah, they do. You don't understand what funnels are. But one of the biggest shifts, one of the biggest changes has been that funnel size matters and shorter is better. Okay. You don't want all these pages. So we started asking the question, how can we still book calls using a funnel? Because it's crazy to not use one, but how can we do this in like 2 pages instead of 4? Because you think about it, if somebody comes and they're like, yeah, I want to jump on the phone with you guys, they got to go through the first page where they put in information. Then they got to go through the second page where they watch a 15-minute VSL. They don't actually get to the book a call page until page number 3. You're 3 pages deep. Now you want to think about whenever you're building a sales funnel, you want to think that every single funnel page is like another gatekeeper. So I've got 3 layers of gatekeeping going on before I actually show my calendar link. That's tough. We've had a lot of success by getting a lot more calls by trying to find ways to creatively move that book a call link forward in the funnel. So we no longer put it on page 3. It's actually on page 1. So my favorite funnel strategy now, in fact, if you click any of the links in our description of our videos, inevitably one of them will go to the style funnel I'm talking about right now. It's a 2-page VSL book a call funnel. And what I've been liking about this is that you're not doing this thing where we're going 3 pages deep before a calendar link pops up. It completely changes the psychology as well. That was one of the reasons it was hard to nail it at first. It took us a few rounds to try to figure out how to run this, but it's been working, and we get calls from it. Now, once you have the funnel built, success is 100% dependent on the traffic source you're using, but this has been the funnel strategy for us. So instead of 4 pages, here's the 2. Page number 1, you go to a page and it's longer than I normally would put for this kind of a page, but there's a lot of information on it. Instead of hiding all this information about your program behind some opt-in page, everything is on page 1. You see live examples of this. Click anything in the description below, you'll see it. Especially if you look at like our Titans of Industry one, you'll see that there's just like a 4 to 8 minute VSL. It's very short on purpose. And right underneath that is a button that goes straight to the calendar or like an application form. Literally on page 1, you've taken what's usually on page 3 and hidden behind all these actions and hidden behind all these layers. And that works really well in that the people who make it through that are really, really warm because they've gone 3 pages deep. They're really, really far into the funnel. But it also just by virtue of volume, you just don't get that much volume. Below that is more information about the program, is more other people's experiences inside of it, how it's going to work, what we focused on first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. There's more stuff underneath there and the call to action is repeated throughout it, but that's worked a lot better. Rather than having one video that's like this 30-minute long thing, if you're talking to busy business owners, a lot of times they don't have time for that. So what's been more valuable for us is to have like a 4 to 8 minute video on the front. And then once they actually book a call or fill out your application, it's on the second page. That's where you put your 20-minute plus video. And so we used to do it all in one video, but by breaking it up and putting the book a call between that, man, that's been the gold. That's what's worked so well. So imagine this, you're on page 1, they watch a 4 to 8 minute VSL, they click click on a button, and it's very open-ended. You're just talking about your street cred, you're talking about your stats, you're talking about what you help people do at a kind of a 30,000 foot view. Then when they click the button, this little pop-up shows up. They're choosing the link in the calendar, or they're filling out the form, however your flow works. And then on the second page is what we call the call prep page. So it's kind of the psychology that I use for it now, because you basically say, hey, we're excited to chat. Please show up a few minutes early to the link. We're talking to several people about this. So please show up early, be on time, get a piece of paper. I also like to put things on there like, here's some of the questions that we're going to be asking you and some of the information we want you to have gathered prior to getting on the phone with us. We might have them pull some of their business financials. We might have them pull some of their funnel stats. There's things we want them to have already gone out and done. And it absolutely helps the call, but it also helps the person get a little more invested in the call. It's true for any meetings, right? In fact, it's funny. When I was in college, we learned a lot about Google's meeting model, and it's very common for Google to only let meetings be 5 minutes long. I don't know if they still do this, but back when I was like 15 years ago or whatever, Google was like, it's all about the 5-minute meeting. And the only reason the 5-minute meeting works is because each individual person prepares for the meeting. So if you show up to a meeting and you're not prepared, the meeting will get longer. That was their whole thought process behind it. And I got to tell you, I believe that. You have longer meetings when people don't prepare for the meeting ahead of time. And so it's the same kind of thing, and you're more invested as well, right? If you've taken even just a few minutes just to prepare for whatever meeting you got coming up, you're more invested. You've invested time. You haven't invested money yet, but you've invested time into the preparation of what you're going to go spend more time on, for the meeting itself. And so that's what's so cool about this, is that on the call prep page, I want them to have gone and collected some numbers. And I'm going to ask them, because if I'm going to really do my job, I need to understand where their business is at. Pull some financials, pull your marketing metrics, pull social stuff, pull funnel data. If you can go do that, by the time you jump on the phone with us, it really helps the call, because it's kind of like, imagine you go to a doctor and you're like, doctor, I don't feel good. And you sit down and you're like, doctor, I don't feel good. And the doctor immediately is like, I'll prescribe you antibiotics. And you're like, wait, what? Aren't you going to ask me any more questions? Like, you don't even know what's wrong with me. I don't even know what's wrong with me. That's why I'm here. If there's no question asking, there's very bad diagnosing. And so it's the same thing whenever we jump on a call with someone. It's like, we want people to have all of these things prepared ahead of time. And it literally affects the quality of the call. It affects how much I can actually understand about the business and the speed that we can understand it. And so if someone doesn't go through and do just I'm not saying you got to pull all this stuff, but just some numbers, like pull some stats so that we're not just letting emotion make our decisions. Then when we actually are able to jump on the phone, I could be like, all right, marketing metrics, give me a quick snapshot of the business. Where are you at financially? Where are you at marketing metrics? How's the lead flow going? How's the sales flow going? Then it's a very valuable call whether or not someone chooses to move forward with our products. That's still the psychology of page 2, is I call it call prep. And they've booked a call, but they're not ready for the call. They filled out the form for the program, but they're not ready for the program. We need to still have a chat face to face. And so what it is a page that basically is like, look, now I want you to watch this video. You can watch it at 2x speed, but it's 15 minutes. All right. So you can watch it at 2x speed, make it 7 minutes. That's fine. Watch this video so you understand what we're going to be talking about. Here's a list of things. Just even if you can grab 2 or 3 out of this list of 5, that'd be just cherry. That's perfect. Because I don't want to be diagnosing and prescribing, if you will, things that don't fit because I don't have all the data and you have no idea what questions I'm asking. You don't have the answers. That's like the major psychology piece of the call prep page. And oh, dude, it's awesome. In fact, it's such a strong page that when we get on the phone and someone has not gone through any call prep stuff, we actually say, hey, thank you so much. It just, at this time, we risk repeating ourselves a gazillion times. Here's the link. Just take the next 10 minutes and just go watch this video. While you're listening to it, go pull up some of the numbers and the stats that we need. Jump back on this link in 10 minutes. Awesome. See you in 10 minutes. And we'll just push them back to the call prep page. Otherwise, we got to go like all the way from the ground up. It's one of the major ways that not only are we, of course, warming up the lead and educating and teaching the lead, but we're also vetting out people who are willing to work with us. Because if they can't pull simple freaking numbers that every business owner should know, what's the chance that they're any kind of successful with what I'm going to go tell them to do next? The call prep page holds several different purposes and functions. It's not just like prepare for our call. I'm testing them as much as they're testing me. Again, I don't know, I've said this so many times on this channel, but it's just true. If there's such thing as a dream customer, then by definition, there is such thing as a nightmare customer. And so it's one of the push-pull language strategy things that I do to kind of scare away the wrong person from buying from me. If they won't even do that simple task of like, can you watch a 7-minute video on 2x speed? Can you just pull just super simple funnel stats and just kind of let me know where your business is at? And then when you get on the call and I ask you these things, you can give me the info in like a minute. There's been times literally where I'll just wait while somebody just pulls those numbers because I'm not going to guess. So that's what I've been loving so much about this. That's the main version of our call funnel now, is it's 2 pages, the call prep page. Underneath, kind of like the main video that I want them to be going through and doing, underneath that, I'll put other videos like me speaking on a big impressive stage or a really key speech that says the opposite of what they're probably believing. Other pieces of social proof from people who've worked with me. I kind of load it up that way. That's the main way we're using these 2-page call funnels, is it's with inbound leads. So somebody who watches the YouTube video and clicks on a link, they've already been pre-framed. And so they go and they watch just a quick 4 to 8 minute VSL. They get on the calendar or fill out the application. The next page is a call prep page. And that's where they're really like the test is. I mean, you can tell if someone's like actually serious because they'll be emotionally invested in some of these moves. But you know, if they don't do anything, then I'm like, whew, I don't care if you pay me, you might be hell to work with. And it's just the reality of it. Again, I don't want to say that's old, but maybe just for phones, we're seeing that the VSL funnel style that actually books calls is much shorter than the way we used to do it. It's literally 2 pages instead of 4. We're also doing little micro things to see how serious the person is in working with us. And in doing so, we kind of flip the script. They kind of start selling us on them instead of us selling them on our offer. And it's one of the key pieces of psychology, the little script flip that helps us get better people in our front door and also helps us create a better customer experience, much better customer experience for everybody. You know, if we let a bad apple in, it absolutely starts to poison the other apples. And that's just a true principle. So that's how we've been using them. Well, that is the funnel itself. So if you want to see live examples of that, I got 2 links in the description. You can check it out. I'm not trying to pitch you, but those are what they are. So they're down below. Now, how do I actually get traffic to these things? Which is a great question. I have another video on this that goes into my 4 favorite types of traffic. The 4 favorite types of traffic are: number 1, ads. These are not in order, but these are the 4. Content, like organic content, DMs, and affiliates. Boom. Those are them right there. And what's cool is that those are 4 traffic strategies that are not based on launch models. Those 4 traffic methods are like the 24/7 evergreen daily drip traffic strategies. And I just keep turning them on, and then you slightly, increase everything by 10%, increase everything by 10%. And that's just it. That's just the game. All right. And each one of those channels definitely has its own nuances. But if it's ads, I don't spend much ad money to a 2-page book a call funnel because there's no chance to self-liquidate the ad costs unless it's over the phone. So I tend to position these kinds of funnels off the back of other low ticket funnels. Okay, that's like a super key piece to remember with this. That's how I position these. Content is one of my favorite ways to get traffic to a 2-page book a call funnel. It's one of my all-time favorite ways. And it's because, just like y'all on YouTube here, I've got over 640 podcast episodes. I mean, when someone spends that much time on podcasts or on YouTube or whatever, the relationship you gain with them, they start to get to know you a little bit. Your weird quirks, your personality. I'm absolutely a goofy dude, 100% without question. Content, the pro of it, you get really strong leads. The con of it, the drip is a little bit low. Unless you get some video or piece of content that goes viral, you don't usually get high volume of traffic, but the traffic that does come to you is very strong. Okay, so each traffic channel behaves differently. DMs is awesome because I'm able to go and gain a relationship, and there's a little bit of vetting that happens in the DMs before I ever send somebody the book a call link. And so it's similar to content. You get really strong leads. And I've noticed that with DMs have this uncanny ability for me to vet somebody well before they ever get to the book a call funnel. So I kind of have an idea of how strong, like we tend to have really, really high close rates with DMs as a traffic source because the channel itself is doing so much pre-vetting for me. DMs are one of my favorite traffic sources on the planet right now. Absolutely. The other one is affiliates. So now I'm not driving affiliate dollars or putting affiliates to my 2-step call funnels. And I'm not going to use affiliates for that. That's what I have salespeople for. And what we do, we create our own affiliate army. And these are people who are out there promoting our products that are front-end products, right? Lower ticket, middle ticket things. And then off the back of that, I'll send people to my 2-step call funnel. So I'm still using affiliates, but not by driving traffic straight to the call funnel itself. This 100% was probably one of the most nerdy episodes I have ever done for this channel. But if you have any questions about call funnels, I'll tell you still, if I lost everything and was forced to completely start over, the 2 funnels that I would go build the fastest is a low ticket throttle funnel, and then I would build a 2-step VSL funnel without question. And then I would get good at ads, I would get good at content, I get good at DMs, and I would start building my own affiliates for my little front end product. That's what I'd go do. Go figure, that is what we're doing. You guys are awesome. Let me know what other funnel types or strategies, whether it's marketing, funnels, traffic, or sales, lead gen, any of those things. I'd love to know. That's what I'm here for. And I love making videos based on your comments. I do read them. I screenshot them when a question comes through and I'm like, all right, future video. So let me know down below. Remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.